Captain Jake Morrison stood on the bridge of the Leviathan and looked out at the stars. The massive ship moved slowly through space like a floating city. It was 12 kilometers long and carried 50,000 people. This was humanity's biggest ship ever built. Jake had been captain for 3 years now, but he still felt amazed every time he walked through its huge halls. The Leviathan was not pretty like the ships in old movies. It looked rough and strong, built to survive anything space could throw. At it, thick metal plates covered the outside. Giant engines pushed it forward. Inside, there were homes, schools, factories, and farms. Everything humans needed to start a new life on distant worlds. "Captain, we are getting close to the Kepler system," said Navigator Susan Wells. She sat at her station, studying the star charts. "We should reach the outer edge in 6 hours." Jake nodded. They had been traveling for 2 years to reach this place. Scientists on Earth had found planets here that might be good for humans to live on. The Leviathan carried the first group of settlers who would try to build a new home among the stars. Dr. Amy Rodriguez walked onto the bridge. She was the chief science officer and one of the smartest people Jake had ever met. She carried a data pad and looked excited about something. "Captain, I need to show you what we found," Amy said. She connected her pad to the main screen. Numbers and graphs appeared. Our long-range sensors picked up something strange near the 4th planet. Jake studied the data. He was a good captain, but Amy was much better with science. "What am I looking at, Doctor?" "Energy readings that do not match anything natural," Amy said. "The pattern is too organized, too perfect. This has to be artificial." The bridge became very quiet. Everyone stopped their work and looked at the screen. After hundreds of years of searching, humans had never found proof of other intelligent life. They had always wondered if they were alone in the universe. "Are you sure?" Jake asked. Amy nodded. "I have checked it many times. This is not a mistake. Something made this energy signature, something that knows how to use technology." Communications Officer Lisa Chong looked up from her station. "Captain, should I try to send a message?" Jake thought carefully. This could change everything for humanity. First contact with aliens was something people had dreamed about for centuries. But it could also be dangerous. No one knew what other species might be like. "Not yet," Jake said. "First, we need to see what we are dealing with. Amy, can you get us more information?" "I am trying," Amy said, "but we need to get closer. The signal is coming from behind the 4th planet's moon." Jake walked to his command chair. "Susan, change our course. Take us toward that planet, but keep our distance. I want to see these aliens before they see us." The Leviathan slowly turned toward the 4th planet. Its huge engines hummed as they changed direction. The ship was so big that it took time to change course, like turning a floating mountain. Hours passed as they got closer. Amy worked with her science team to study the energy readings. They became stronger and more complex. Whatever was making them had very advanced technology. "Captain," said Lisa from her communication station, "I am picking up movement near the planet." On the main screen, they could see space around the 4th planet. At first, everything looked normal. Then small shapes began to move from behind the moon. They were ships, but unlike anything humans had ever built, the alien ships were beautiful. They looked like they were made of crystal and light. They moved smoothly through space without any visible engines. There were 5 of them, much smaller than the Leviathan, but graceful in a way that made the human ship look clumsy. "My God," whispered Security Chief Ryan Blake. "They are real." The alien ships seemed to notice the Leviathan. They moved closer, but kept their distance. Jake could feel the tension on the bridge. Everyone knew they were witnessing the most important moment in human history. "Lisa, are they trying to communicate?" Jake asked, Not yet, Captain. But I am reading energy patterns. That might be scans. I think they are studying us the same way we are studying them. Amy looked at her instruments. Captain, those ships are incredibly advanced. Their technology is at least 100 years ahead of ours. Maybe more. Jake felt the weight of responsibility on his shoulders. He was not just a ship captain anymore. He represented all of humanity in this first meeting with another species. Whatever happened next would be remembered forever. Prepare first contact protocols, Jake ordered. Lisa, get ready to transmit our friendship message. Amy, keep studying those ships. Ryan, I want our defenses ready but not active. We do not want to look threatening. The bridge crew worked quickly. The Leviathan and the alien ships continued to watch each other across the empty space. Both sides were curious, but careful. Captain, Lisa said, one of their ships is moving closer. I think they want to talk. Jake took a deep breath. Open a channel. Let us see if we can make friends with our new neighbors. The moment humanity had waited for since they first looked up at the stars was finally here. Captain Jake Morrison and his crew were about to speak with beings from another world. Lisa Chong pressed the communication button with shaking hands. Channel open, Captain, she said quietly. At first, only silence came through the speakers. Then strange sounds filled the bridge. They were musical, like singing mixed with the sound of wind chimes. The alien language was unlike anything humans had ever heard. Lisa, try the mathematics program, Captain Jake Morrison said. Send them basic number sequences. Lisa sent simple math patterns into space. 1 + 1 = 2. 2 + 2 = 4. The response came quickly. The aliens sent back the same patterns and added more complex equations. They were smart and understood what humans were trying to do. Dr. Amy Rodriguez watched the exchange with excitement. Captain, they are learning our number system very fast. Their math is more advanced than ours. After an hour of number games, something amazing happened. The air in front of the main screen began to shimmer like water. Light gathered together and formed the shape of a person, but not a human person. The alien was tall and thin with smooth skin that glowed softly blue. It had 4 arms instead of 2, and its face was longer than a human face. Large dark eyes looked around the bridge with curiosity. When it spoke, the words came out in perfect English. Greetings, the alien said. Its voice was pleasant and calm. I am Zara of the Veltar people. We welcome you to this star system. Jake stood up from his captain's chair. He had practiced this moment many times, but it still felt unreal. I am Captain Jake Morrison of the human ship Leviathan. We come in peace from the planet Earth. Zara tilted her head in a way that looked almost human. Earth, yes, we have studied your signals from far away. You are very young as a space-traveling species. We are curious about your large vessel. Amy stepped forward. I am Dr. Amy Rodriguez, our science officer. We would like to learn about your people and share knowledge. Knowledge sharing is good, Zara said, but we must speak of your ship first. Why do you travel in such a ... heavy vessel? It appears built for war, not exploration. Jake felt confused. The Leviathan was built to carry people and supplies, not to fight. This is a colony ship. We are looking for new worlds where humans can live. Zara's eyes became wider. You carry many people in this metal fortress? How strange. Beltar ships are small and light. We do not understand why you need such thick armor and powerful weapons. We do not have weapons, Jake said. This ship is built strong to protect people during long space travel. The alien looked doubtful. Your ship masses many times more than our entire fleet. To us, it looks like a war machine. Professor Carl Stevens, the ship's language expert, had been listening carefully. He stepped up to join the conversation. Zara, perhaps our species build things differently. Humans like to build strong and safe. We are not warriors. Yet you travel information like a military force, Zara said. And we detect many armed. Humans on your ship. Security Chief Ryan Blake had been standing quietly near the weapons station. He wore his security uniform and carried the usual equipment that all security officers used. To humans, this was normal. But Zara looked at him with concern. Captain, Ryan said quietly to Jake, our long-range sensors show more alien ships. Coming this way, a lot more. Jake felt his stomach drop. How many? At least 20, sir. Maybe more. Zara seemed to hear this conversation, even though Ryan had spoken softly. Yes, more of our people come. When we found your large vessel, we called for help. A ship this size could carry great weapons. We must be careful. Amy looked at her instruments. Captain, the alien ships are positioning themselves around us. It looks like they are surrounding the Leviathan. The situation was getting worse fast. Jake had hoped for a friendly meeting, but the aliens thought humans were dangerous. The more he tried to explain that they were peaceful, the more suspicious Zara became. Zara, please understand, Jake said. We have traveled very far to find a new home. We do not want to fight anyone. Then why do you carry so many people in a warship? Zara asked again. Why not use small, peaceful vessels like civilized species? Do? Professor Stevens tried to help. Our species evolved on a dangerous planet. We build things to last. Space is dangerous too, so we make ships that can protect people. Space is only dangerous if you make it dangerous, Zara replied. Peaceful species have traveled safely for thousands of years. Only warlike peoples need such heavy protection. Ryan. Blake touched his communication device. Captain, I recommend we go to Yellow Alert. We are outnumbered, and they do not trust us. Jake made a difficult choice. He knew that preparing defenses might make things worse, but he had 50,000 people to protect. Do it quietly, Ryan. No visible weapons. But Zara's people had very good sensors. Almost immediately, she looked alarmed. You are powering defensive systems. This proves you are military. We are just being careful, Jake said. You have many ships around us now. Because you might be dangerous, Zara said. Her calm voice was becoming harder. Large ships like yours have attacked peaceful worlds before. Amy looked confused. Before? You have met other species with ships like ours. Yes, Zara said. And they brought only war. We will not let that happen again. The hologram of Zara began to fade. Captain Morrison, you have one day to prove your peaceful intentions. If you cannot, our fleet will escort you away from this system. Do not return. The alien disappeared, leaving the bridge in silence. Jake looked around at his crew. They had come so far to meet aliens, and now everything was going wrong. Lisa checked her instruments. Captain, 30 alien ships now surround. U.S. Their weapons are charging. Jake sat back down in his captain's chair. Tomorrow, humanity would have to prove they deserved to be among the stars. Captain Jake Morrison did not sleep well that night. He walked the halls of the Leviathan, thinking about the alien ultimatum. One day to prove humanity was peaceful. But how could they prove something like that to beings who already decided humans were dangerous? The next morning, Zara appeared on the bridge again. This time she was not alone. 2 other Veltar stood beside her. One was older with silver markings on his blue skin. The other was smaller and seemed nervous. Captain Morrison. Zara said, We have decided on a test. Jake stood ready to listen. His senior officers gathered around him. Everyone looked tense. There is a mining station in the asteroid field near the 7th planet, Zara continued. Our people are trapped there. The station is breaking apart and will be destroyed soon. If you truly come in peace, you will help rescue them. Dr. Amy Rodriguez checked her star charts quickly. Captain, that asteroid field is very dangerous. The rocks are moving fast, and there are thousands of them. The older Veltar spoke for the first time. I am Elder Kex. Your large ship cannot move well in tight spaces. Our vessels are too small to carry all the trapped miners. Only you have enough room to save them all. Jake understood what was happening. This was not just a rescue mission. It was a test to see if humans would risk their own lives to save aliens they had just met. How many people are trapped? Jake asked. 47 miners and scientists, said the smaller Veltar. I am Nix. Those are my people on the station. Please, the station will collapse in 6 hours. Security Chief Ryan Blake stepped forward. Captain, this could be a trap. They could be leading us into the asteroid field to destroy our ship. Elder Kex looked offended. Veltar do not lie about lives in danger. If you do not trust us, then you prove our fears about your species. Jake made his decision quickly. We will help. Amy, plot a course to the asteroid field. Ryan, prepare rescue teams. Zara looked surprised. You accept? Even though it might damage your vessel? People are in danger, Jake said simply. That is more important than our ship. The three Veltar exchanged looks. This was clearly not what they expected humans to say. 2 hours later, the Leviathan approached the asteroid field. Navigator Susan Wells sat at her controls looking worried. Captain, I have never seen anything like this. The asteroids are huge and moving in all directions. Chief Engineer Matt Davis studied the field through the main screen. Sir, our ship is too big for this. Those rocks will tear us apart if we go in there. The asteroid field stretched out before them like a deadly maze. Rocks the size of mountains spun and crashed into each other. Some asteroids were as big as cities. The space between them was barely wide enough for a ship like the Leviathan to pass through. Pilot Kate Johnson tried to find a safe path. Captain, I can see the mining station. It is deep inside the field, surrounded by the biggest asteroids. On the screen, they could see the Veltar station. It was small and elegant like their ships, but pieces were breaking off as asteroids. Hit it. Lights flickered on and off. The station was dying. Amy, can our sensors guide us through? Jake asked. Amy frowned at her instruments. Something is wrong, Captain. Our sensors are not working properly. The readings keep changing. Elder Kex's hologram appeared on the bridge. The asteroids contain zelithium ore. It interferes with most sensor systems. This is why the rescue is so difficult. Matt Davis shook his head. Captain, without good sensors, we are flying blind. One wrong move and we crash into a rock. Jake looked at his crew. They all seemed scared, but none of them suggested giving up. Kate, take us in slowly. Use your eyes and instincts. The Leviathan entered the asteroid field like a giant trying to walk through a forest of swinging clubs. Kate carefully steered between the spinning rocks. The ship's thick armor scraped against smaller asteroids with sounds like thunder. Hull breach on deck 15, reported Ryan. Minor damage, but it shows how dangerous this is. The Veltar. Ships followed at a safe distance. Jake could imagine what they were thinking. The human ship looked clumsy and crude compared to their graceful vessels. It seemed to prove that humans solved problems with brute force instead of skill. 20 minutes into the asteroid field, disaster struck. A massive rock tumbled toward them faster than Kate could avoid. She tried to turn the huge ship, but it was too big and too slow. Impact in 30 seconds, Susan called out. Amy suddenly looked up from her science station with excitement. Captain, I found something. The zelithium in the asteroids is not just interfering with sensors. It is making them move in patterns. They are not random. What does that mean? Jake asked as the asteroid rushed toward them. It means we have been thinking about this wrong, Amy said quickly. We do not need to avoid the asteroids. We need to work with them. The asteroid was 10 seconds away from hitting the Leviathan. Jake had to make a choice. Trust his science officer or order emergency maneuvers that might make things worse. Amy, whatever you are thinking, do it now, Jake said. Amy's fingers flew over her controls. Kate, turn 15 degrees to port. Do not fight the asteroids. Gravity, let it pull us. Kate followed Amy's instructions, even though it seemed wrong. Instead of avoiding the huge rock, she aimed the Leviathan toward it. The crew held their breath as the massive asteroid passed just meters from their hull. But Amy was right. The asteroid's gravity helped turn the ship toward a clear path between the other rocks. The zelithium creates gravity patterns, Amy explained. Quickly, if we map them right, the asteroids will guide us instead of destroy us. For the first time since entering the field, Jake smiled. Leave it to humans to find a completely different way to solve an impossible problem. Dr. Amy Rodriguez worked faster than she had ever worked before. Her fingers moved over the science station controls as she mapped the gravity patterns in the asteroid field. The zelithium ore was like a hidden guide, pulling and pushing the rocks in ways that looked random but were not. Kate, follow my directions exactly. Amy called out to the pilot. Turn right when I say right. Turn left when I say left. Trust the math. Pilot Kate Johnson nodded. She had learned to trust Amy's science skills during their long journey from Earth. Ready, Doctor? Guide us through. The Leviathan moved deeper into the asteroid field. Amy called out directions just seconds before massive rocks would have crushed the ship, left around a spinning boulder the size of a city, right between two asteroids that crashed together just after they passed. Straight ahead as three rocks moved apart like opening doors, Captain Jake Morrison watched in amazement. His ship looked like it was dancing with the asteroids instead of fighting them. The Veltar ships following behind could not believe what they were seeing. Captain, said Communications Officer Lisa Chong, the aliens are asking how we learned to navigate there. Most dangerous asteroid field so quickly. Tell them we are still learning, Jake replied. Amy, how much further to the mining station? 2 kilometers, Amy said. But Captain, we have a new problem. The station is surrounded by the biggest asteroids. They are too close together for us to reach it. Chief Engineer Matt Davis studied the situation. The mining station is in the center of those rocks, like a pearl in a shell. Our ship is too big to get close enough. Jake felt frustration growing. They had come so far, but now they could not complete the rescue. The trapped Veltar miners were so close, but the final approach was impossible for a ship the size of the Leviathan. Then Cargo Master Nicole Torres had an idea. Captain, what if we do not take the whole ship to the station? What if we bring the station to us? What do you mean? Jake asked. Nicole pointed at the main screen. We have shuttle bays that can hold 100 small ships. We have mining equipment in our cargo holds. We have 50,000 people who know how to work together. Why not use what we have? Matt Davis understood first. We turn the Leviathan into a rescue base. Send out shuttles to get the people. Use our mining tools to cut through the asteroids if we need to. Jake felt hope return. This was what humans did best. When one approach did not work, they found another way. Do it, Nicole. Organize the shuttle teams. Matt, get the mining equipment ready. Amy, keep guiding us as close as you can. The Leviathan stopped just outside the ring of large asteroids. Inside the ship, organized chaos began. Nicole Torres ran through the corridors talking to shuttle pilots, cargo workers, and mining teams. Everyone had a job to do. In Shuttle Bay. 120 small ships powered up their engines. Each could carry 5 people safely. In Shuttle Bay 2, mining shuttles loaded with cutting tools prepared to clear a path through smaller rocks. "This is amazing," said Medical Officer Dr. Kevin Martinez as he set up emergency medical stations in the cargo holds. "We are turning our whole ship into a rescue operation." Security Chief Ryan Blake coordinated the teams by radio. "Team Alpha, you take the north approach. Team Beta, go south. Everyone stay in contact and watch for moving asteroids." The first shuttles left the Leviathan and headed for the trapped station. The human pilots had learned from Amy's discovery about the gravity patterns. They used the zelithium fields to help guide their small ships through spaces that seemed too dangerous. Meanwhile, the mining teams went to work on the larger asteroids blocking the path. They used tools designed to cut through solid rock on distant planets. Bright laser cutters carved holes in the floating mountains. Magnetic grapplers moved smaller pieces out of the way. Elder Kex appeared as a hologram on the bridge. He looked shocked. "Captain Morrison, your people are working like a hive mind. How do you coordinate so many individuals?" Jake smiled. "Practice, Elder Kex. Humans have been working together to solve problems for thousands of years. But your ship seemed so crude, so military," Kex said. "Now I see it is designed for exactly this kind of operation." Dr. Amy Rodriguez heard this and explained, "Our ship is built to carry everything we need to survive in space and on new worlds. Big cargo areas, many small ships, tools for every job. What looks like weapons are really just tools for building and survival." The rescue operation continued. One by one, shuttles reached the damaged mining station and brought Veltar miners back to the Leviathan. The aliens were amazed by the huge cargo bays that could hold their entire station if needed. Nix, the young Veltar who had asked for help, came aboard the Leviathan with the last group of rescued miners. She looked around the massive ship with wonder. "How do you manage such a large vessel?" she asked Nicole Torres. "Everyone knows their job," Nicole explained. "When there is a problem, we all work together to fix it. No one person controls everything. We share the work." As the last shuttle returned with the final miner, the Veltar mining station finally broke apart. Pieces scattered into the asteroid field, but all 47 Veltar were safe aboard the human ship. Elder Kex spoke to Captain Morrison again. "We have misjudged your species, Captain. What we thought was primitive design is actually very sophisticated. Your ship is not a weapon of war. It is a tool for helping others." Jake looked at his crew, working to make the rescued aliens comfortable. Humans shared their food, their medical supplies, and their living spaces without being asked. "Elder Kex, we build things to last because we plan to use them to help people. That is just who we are." The test was complete, but Jake had the feeling this was just the beginning of something much bigger. 3 days after the rescue, the Leviathan had become a very different place. Veltar miners walked through the human ship's corridors, sharing meals with the crew and learning about Earth culture. The cargo bays that had saved their lives now served as meeting spaces where two species got to know each other. Captain Jake Morrison found Nix in the observation deck looking out at the stars. The young Veltar scientist had spent most of her time with Dr. Amy Rodriguez, comparing notes about the zelithium asteroids they had studied. "The view is beautiful from here," Nix said as Jake joined her. "Your ship lets us see space in a way our vessels cannot. Everything feels so solid and safe." Jake smiled. "That was the idea when we built her. Space is dangerous, so we made ship that could protect people no matter what happened." "We understand that now," Nix said. "Before, We thought your thick walls and heavy design meant you were preparing for war. We did not realize you were preparing to save lives." In the main conference room, Elder Kex sat with Jake's senior officers. The old Veltar looked embarrassed as he spoke to the human leaders. "We owe you a great apology," Kex said. "We judged your species by the appearance of your technology instead of your actions. This was wrong of us." Professor Carl Stevens, who had been working to improve communication between the species, leaned forward. "Elder Kex, we understand your caution. If we had seen a ship like ours in our system, we might have been worried too." Dr. Amy Rodriguez shared her data pad with the Veltar leader. "We have learned so much from each other already. Your knowledge of zelithium gravity fields could help human ships navigate safely. Our mining techniques could help your people extract resources more efficiently." "Yes," Kex agreed. "But more than technology, we have learned about human character. Your people risked their lives to save strangers. You shared your food, your medical care, and your living space without asking for anything in return. Security." Chief Ryan Blake had been quiet during most of these meetings, but now he spoke up. "Elder Kex, when we first met, you were right to be careful. Any species that can build ships like yours must be smart enough to survive by being cautious." Kex looked surprised. "You are not angry that we threatened you?" "You were protecting your people," Ryan said. "We respect that. It shows you care about life, just like we do." The next morning, something amazing happened. When Jake came to the bridge, he found it filled with holograms. Not just Zara and Elder Kex, but dozens of Veltar from different ships. Lisa Chong worked frantically at her communication station to handle all the incoming messages. "Captain," Lisa said with excitement, "representatives from the entire Veltar Confederation want to speak with you." A new hologram appeared, larger and more detailed than the others. This Veltar was very old, with silver skin that seemed to glow. When she spoke, her voice carried great authority. "I am First Speaker Valana of the Galactic Confederation," she said. "I have heard about the rescue of our miners and the courage shown by your species." Jake felt the weight of history on his shoulders again. This was clearly someone very important in alien society. "First Speaker, I am Captain Jake Morrison. We are honored to meet you." "Captain Morrison, the Confederation includes 47 different species from across this part of the galaxy. We work together to explore space, share knowledge, and help each other when needed." Amy stepped forward. "That sounds wonderful, First Speaker. We would love to learn more about your organization." Valana's large eyes seemed to smile. "Dr. Rodriguez, we would like to invite humanity to join our confederation. Your species has shown the qualities we value most. You help others in need. You work together to solve problems. You build things that last and protect life." The bridge became very quiet. Jake could not believe what he was hearing. Humanity had just made contact with aliens, and now they were being invited to join a galactic community. "This is a great honor," Jake said carefully. "But we are just one ship. Our leaders on Earth would need to make such a decision." "Of course," Valana agreed. "But we can begin with cultural and scientific exchanges. Your ship can continue its mission to find new worlds. Our vessels will accompany you and help where we can." Elder Kex's hologram stepped forward. "Captain, we have prepared detailed star charts of this region. Many planets would be suitable for human colonies. We can guide you to the best ones." Matt Davis looked amazed. "You would help us find new homes?" "The galaxy is vast," Zara said. "There is room for everyone. Species grow stronger when they work together instead of alone." Over the following weeks, the Leviathan continued toward its original destination, but now it traveled with an escort of Veltar ships, human and alien. Scientists worked together every day. Children from both species played games, and learned each other's languages. Dr. Kevin Martinez set up the first interspecies medical exchange, learning how Veltar medicine could help humans and sharing human medical knowledge in return. Nicole Torres organized cultural festivals where both species shared their music, art, and stories. Jake often stood on the observation deck, watching the alien ships flying alongside the Leviathan. The graceful vessels no longer looked fragile to him. They looked like friends keeping his people safe on their journey to the stars. Lisa Chong interrupted his thoughts one evening. "Captain, we are receiving a message from Earth. They want a full report on first contact." Jake smiled as he thought about what he would tell the people back home. Humanity had traveled to the stars, hoping to find new worlds. Instead, they had found something much better. They had found friends, teachers, and a place in the greater community of intelligent life. "Tell them we found what we were looking for," Jake said. "Tell them we found home." The Leviathan and its alien escorts continued deeper into space, carrying not just human dreams, but the hopes of many species for a peaceful future among the stars. Captain Jake Morrison had led his people on a journey to find new worlds, but what they discovered was that they already belonged exactly where they were.